um, the next phase, what I call the Renaissance, if there was any company that was turned around, it was Bovet. I mean, it wasn't a lot going for it. Here was this, as I said, it was this period which I call the diaspora, and along comes this guy named Pascal Raffi, and it reminded me of, now this is in 2001. It reminded me of when Steve Jobs came back to Apple in 1997. He turned the company around, and and the one of the things that he recognized was the power of the internet. In that picture there, he's holding the early iMac that had no floppy drive in it, which at the time, because everything was going to be going over the internet. And on the same token, except perhaps even more so, Pascal Raffi took Beauvais and kept the essence of it. One of the first things he did, he bought the Chateau de Moters, which is where the original Bovet family had started the company. So it was a, I mean, out of the blue. Now, he wanted to have the kind of these rich, interesting watches that the early Bovet had, what I call during the China period. And in order to do that, he did something very interesting. He in 2006, not so much bought but created a movement company called Dimier 1738, and this was really a combination of different things. There was a company called STT, and another one, a stamping company called IGET, and he put all of these together into this in-house movement that he was going to have for Bovet. And the pictured here is some of the patents. I mean, he's got their patents all over the place for these different inventions. And so here he's got this watch company that has the movements and the innovation and just really creative things that are going on. They're manufactured. They're all in house, and so this was out of the blue. Now, it was very expensive, and so this was something that required a lot of investment. But sometimes you can have a lot of investments and go the wrong directions. But Raffi didn't. Boy, it's really amazing. You think of people like FP Journe, for example, who's again a relatively small company compared to giants like Patek Philippe and Vacheron Constantin, and I say giants in terms of relative to some of these other companies. Okay, so he does that, and let's take a look at some of the watches that they have. This one's called Thistles. It's one of my favorite. It's a lady's fired enamel. I'm sorry, miniature painting. Now the painting is by a guy named Izgiz F. His last name is F. It might be an abbreviation for something, but that's what he goes by. It's a gorgeous watch, and it has the characteristic of this watch and a lot of the watches, and I think this may be one of the somewhat of a problem in that it sort of does one of the things. A motto, I believe, is what it's referred to, and it has, you can have it for a wristwatch. You can have it. You can take it off and make it into a pocket watch. You can have it hanging from your neck as a brooch, and then it has a little stand that you can stand it up and have it sort of like a little table clock, and very interesting stuff. But it didn't exactly hit the sort of the broader market, we'll say, in terms of like, oh boy, I got to get one. But a watch like this, for just a wonderful ladies' watch, is just incredible. Um, he also has, this is something that is from what he calls a recital, the Demier recital watches. the movements, the complications there, along with the artistry of it, these watches are incredible. Now, one of the things, they are incredible, but they're very expensive. They're very expensive watches. They're out of the range of most collectors, including me. Okay, but not all of them. I mean, I got my Bovet, but it's not in the same league as some of these other ones. Okay, so let's take a look at some more. Here's one. Now, this is something else that he did that's sort of interesting. There's a company called Pininfarina, which is an Italian design company, and this is something else that Raffi did with Bovet, is that they partnered up for the design. And this one, the reason that I put it up there, it was supposed to remind somebody of a cockpit in an airplane. And when I used to fly, and I was looking at it, well, it doesn't exactly look like a cockpit. But then at the bottom, they have the little three-prong, I don't know what it is, an escapement or something, and or even tourbillon. They had a lot of tourbillons. But, like a yoke. If you ever yoke on an airplane, it looks like a half a wheel. Well, with a Y, you could do that. And I suppose there are plenty of dials, a lot more than that. But it's an interesting thing. I mean, this is like, we're not just going to be sort of another watch company. And boy, they're not. And this is why they have this incredible reputation. They do these incredible things. So, here's another one. Now, this is a simpler one. It's for a lady's watch. But the artistry, look at where the hands come together, forming a little heart at when it's at the 210. So I guess it does it at other places too. But I mean, just all of these little innovative touches that they have. Now, this next one is one of my favorite, and it's part of this illumination series that they have. And during the day, this is what the watch looks like, and then at night, it has an illumination from the back. It's backlit, and it just like, who else does that? It just really an amazing thing. I put them here together. You can see the difference between day and night on these. And at night, though, you can see how the wings of the butterfly. These are all these little hand painted images that they have. Here's the same thing done in blue. So again, it follows up on some of the old things that Bovet had done. Now, there are some more what we might call, I hate to use the term modern, but I guess that would be it. This one's called the Sportster. And again, it's got that, looks like that three-way kind of combination of things. And look at where the pushers and the crown are, right where the bracelet comes onto it. Really interesting looking watch. Sagaro is the series name. But again, innovation, very innovative. Now this next set of watches that we're going to look at, they came up with something that was called the 1930 series. And the good thing about these are the entry-level watches. Now, for entry-level, they are incredible. This is, man, when I saw this, one of the things, just looking at that, the Geneva waves, they have circular Geneva waves. I've never seen that before. That is so cool. And this watch is a wind-up watch, and it's got 7 days, 7-day watch. And then it has at the bottom, you can see at the bottom down there, it's got the power reserve indicator. So for an entry level. Now for entry level, this one runs. They have two groups. I'll look at the other. I'll look at an example from the other one. This is the one that I think probably will have the largest appeal to your average collector. They run about $17,000. Forget that. but I've seen them discounted below 11,000. And this is one of these watches, I think, that if people don't catch on to it, the prices on the used market will go down. And there may be some really, really outstanding watches available at very good prices. Now, if you're worried about something keeping its value, it's going to keep the value because it's valuable in terms of what is the essence of the watch. In terms of resale market, I don't know. And my hope is I sort of go against the trend. I hope it drops like a rock so I can buy one. And they come in a number of different colors and combinations. This is the one that I happen to like the best. They also have it in blue. I like blue. I like the blue also, but I like the white one better because I have a blue one already. They also come in black, and now this one has diamonds around it. So this is another variation you can get if you want diamonds on your watch. Now the movement is the name of this series. There are two types. There's the 1930 series, and they have two types. One is called the Fleurier, and this one is called the Damier. And the reference number is RNTS 0009. Caliber is 15B M04. It's one of these things. They don't use outhouse, okay? They don't use non-in-house, so you're not going to have to worry about having something less than a Bovet movement in these things, and they are gorgeous. You can see the perlage, you can see the circular Geneva waves. Whoa, these things are a trip. Now, this is the other the 1930 series called the Fleurier, and it looks a little different, and plus it has that Amato type of bracelet with it, where you can configure it into a number of different combinations of things. You use it for a pocket watch or this or that. I don't think, this is me, not everybody, that style is going to be as popular as the old lugs are. But maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. What do I know, right? It's intriguing. You can have it as you can pop it up on your desk and pull out a little thing in the back of it for to make it a little table clock or a pocket watch, or hang it from a necklace. So that's another possibility. Now, a couple other things too that they have. This is going back to the 1930 Damier model. They have it in Chinese. Now, on the one hand, you think, oh, well, I guess that's for the Chinese market. Possibly, but it's also pretty cool because I've seen a lot of younger people get, well, I have with some kind of Chinese saying, just some sort of something that some people may like, and then they have it in Roman numerals as well. So you can, it has a lot of varieties. You have 3 different colors. You have 3 different, I think it's 3, maybe 4 different faces on it. And so there are a lot of different things you can do. And to me, it is, you talk about, and then they put this dynamite movement in it. 7 days, hand wound. Oh, and then there's a Fleurier, something that works like the Geneva seal, but it's for Fleurier, same kind of thing. Anyhow, I would really like to hear from you what you think of this. Also, too, let me urge you, visit the Bovet site. I just scratched the surface of the different kinds of watches they have. The big thing to remember, their nicer watches are very, very expensive. One of the interesting things, in 2016, they entered six watches in the Grand Prix d'Horologie de Genève, and four of them were pre-selected. Unfortunately for them, none of them won. But I mean, to get that proportion of your watches when you put in several. I mean, there are a lot of companies I know that have put in like several watches. They never get to the pre-selected stage. So Bovet is something I think it's one of those hidden gems. I think you're going to be able to, if you get your hands on one, you get a incredible watch for a good deal. Okay, let's hear your comments. Love to hear your comments. And this is, as usual, this is an invitation to subscribe if you'd like. And most importantly, let's hear from you. Get your opinions. Been Bill Sanders for WatchArtSci, the art and science of watch collection. And Sunday, I hope to see you for our next collection review.